Hey guys, welcome back to the Aethos podcast. This is podcast number 2, and we have our first founder on the podcast with us today, Rich Rizzo from Rizzo Electric. What's up, Rich?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome, brother. We're stoked to talk to you. I know you and Karen have somewhat of a history, so you have that bond. You can share some stories with us, but this is really a time that we get to dive deep with Rich and understand his journey for his business, his startup, and how it grew into what it is today. Maybe some inspiration for you guys. So I'm going to hand this off to Karen, our CEO. Here you go.
Thank you, Afshin. Rich, I want to say thank you so much for being just our inaugural entrepreneur to bring on the podcast. I'm so excited for everyone to hear kind of your story, your hero's journey, and the things that you do to create a life of flow, right? Like the life that you designed for yourself. And ever since I met you, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
This is my dream to get to highlight people that have always inspired me. Before this, you were working at Tesla for solar and cars, right?
Yep.
Catch everybody up. When you were working at Tesla and after leaving, what made you begin your hero's journey of becoming an entrepreneur? Maybe give everybody a little bit of a background of where you came from, what brought you to Tesla or California, and we'll go from there.
I grew up in Cave Creek, Arizona, small town outside of Phoenix and Scottsdale. I came to California for the 4th of July.
Oh, you did? I didn't even know that.
10 years ago, this 4th of July. I decided I wanted to stay and serve some tables at Olive Garden while applying for jobs. And I was fortunate enough to have had the opportunity to work at Solar City, which in the process of becoming Tesla. And I was given a great opportunity and changed my life.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I remember one of the things that you first told me ever was that your definition of success was just, becoming a better version of yourself from the day before. So yeah, starting off with your hero's journey, what kind of, that's what started your journey with Tesla, but transitioning from there to this company that you have now, what was like the thought or thing that you had? What was your definition of success that you were going for?
I still really kind of try to just be better than I was yesterday. I believe that, if you kind of compete with others and whatnot, kind of a repetitive cycle, it's you can just be in competition with yourself and just be better than you were the day before, even 1% better, half a percent. Those are metrics that you can hold yourself accountable to.
Yeah. So that's pretty much like the same for now with Rizzo Electric and everything. Speaking on Rizzo Electric, we're in your shop right now. So you want to talk about your shop, like your company, what you've been doing, what you've been up to?
Yeah. We are behind a conduit rack or in front of a conduit rack. These are the pipes that you install lines through or wire for power. I've been at this location for almost 3 years. It was a little bit of a growing pain. I didn't realize that we needed it at the time, as I was comfortable just running out of my garage at my home. But this has been home now for a couple years. We are located in Huntington Beach, California.
So I kind of want to ask a question that if you saw the short form video where we kind of met up for the first time, I want to understand maybe what you took from your journey at Tesla. Like, what did you learn there that helped you become successful in your current business at Rizzo Electric? Because I feel like it's so difficult. There's so many bumps along the way when you're starting a business, and no one can really prepare you for that. So what did you take from like that experience and apply it here that helped you pave the way?
That's a good question. I definitely worked with some of the top talent of people I've never met. That's one thing they did really great there, was hiring just the most exceptional people. So I learned a lot, I would say, about like leadership, a lot of what a good leader is and what one isn't, and how to retain and attract the best talent and employees. That was a very, that period when I had worked there, that company was growing overnight tenfold. And learned how to kind of navigate some growing pains that I've experienced since, not at that magnitude, but with growing your team, your headcount, escalating problems that maybe you don't have the answers to and how to navigate them and have patience, problem solving, really.
Yeah. No, it's really cool that you touch on the like understanding what you're capable of and then growing a team and managing all of that because when I know you were mentioning that you were really young when you started and you guys met, but the thing is like I was also very young when I started there and I remember thinking to myself, I'm so fresh in this and like I don't even know what I'm capable of. But when I left, I started to realize like, oh my gosh, it helped me realize what I am capable of. And I feel like you probably felt that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely didn't know if I was going to be good at my job when I was given a job,
Yeah.
and I had never really done a sales position before. Learned so much and worked with such great people.
They just throw you into it. You're sitting there with like all these new tools and you're like, oh my gosh, like what do I do with all of this? And it's a sink or swim moment, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs are going to feel when they're starting their business, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
I would agree.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. I'm going to hand the mic back over to Karen for our kind of like our bringing us into our next topic here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I love what you were saying, Afshin, about getting thrown into it and see how you sink or swim. And it's funny that you say, first, one of the best things that you learn at any company or organization before you get into entrepreneurship is just this, you're kind of testing how you do, right? Like how you stack up against other people. But really the secret is being very competitive with yourself, and you're being very humble because literally you were the top salesperson at the company when you were with us. So it was incredible to see your growth too, like your rate of growth. And that's something that I definitely saw in you, that you had a lot more internal drive in what you cared about versus external. Like you're really just trying to prove yourself, and that's something I always saw in myself too. So internal drive is a big part of the, again, I'll go back to the hero's journey that I think really like came from being at Tesla, but just being around successful people like you, right? Like I knew you were going to be successful in the next thing you did. So successful people, I think, handle the second bulk of the hero's journey, which is what they call the ordeal. Like when you're going through really big struggle, right? And you're used to winning, what is like a mental model or a principle or something you lean on when you're going through that struggle phase? Or maybe like take us through one of the hardest times you had at the company, like briefly, and then like what were some things that you did for yourself or some things that you do to get through those times and make it and see it through.
Thank you for your kind words and compliment there first. We all have struggles, problems, hurdles to overcome. I've certainly had a mountain of problems personally, and every day can be a challenge. I like to kind of just zoom out and look at the bigger situation at hand. Are my friends, family, everyone healthy and good? Think about where I have been before and where I'm at now, and gratitude would definitely be my fuel on a good day, let alone a bad day, especially. Just doing things I love to get realigned. Go to the ocean, ride dirt bikes, go on a hike.
Yeah.
Big nature guy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Something that I saw is the people who can kind of endure the most also really knew how to like pull back. And like you said, gratitude, and look at past success, right? Like don't really dwell on the times where we all always fail, right? But you pull back. So I love that. That's something that I hear a lot with people who are, capable of doing this. And also maybe that's something inside of you you don't recognize, like you were talking about. You don't recognize what you're capable of until you just literally jump in and do it. And like I almost want to jump to you with how great your social media skills are right now and the things you didn't notice. But this is surrounding yourself with people who have that positive, like almost obsessively optimistic mindset, no matter how things go.
Can I speak on? I need to say something about what you said with taking a step. It's almost like a holistic approach. You have to look at the whole picture because you talked about alignment and we talk about flow state. So when you want to reach this state that everything is flowing in a positive direction, it's important to first start with yourself and the things that are very important to you in life. Because I feel like a lot of people who are interested in becoming successful often table the things that are truly important to them, which actually I think is so counterintuitive. You need to have, if it's your family, if it's the beach, if it's moments like that, you make time for those things and make sure that that's flowing in your life. So when you come to this, then everything is in alignment so you can reach that potential that you need. You start writing things down, you have a good business plan, your mind isn't clouded anymore because everything is where it should be. So I really love that you talked about that when asked the question, what do you do to kind of like get where you need to be?
Zoom out.
Zoom out, zoom
Yeah.
out, do the things that are important to you, make time for the things that are important to you. Because if you do not, what is it all good for? We're not like, we don't live to work, we work to live. And that's got to be like a big goal for a lot of people. That I know the journey is so important and your end goal is so important, but we really need to bring it back to how you're going to have an enjoyment out of your journey too.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've struggled with work-life balance, and I prioritize it now.
I'm glad it's in sight for you.
So when Rich first started, when did you start this company?
In the end of 2019,
Oh wow, so it's been like how many years now? Like
we are in our 7th year of business.
7 years. Oh my gosh. What's the anniversary date?
October or something.
October? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So think about Rich starting this company 7 years ago and Rich now. What's the biggest difference?
Well, I'm older, um, and
Wiser.
definitely a little bit wiser.
Good
Maybe a little
More
bit less
tan.
patient.
Yeah, you got a tan.
Work outside.
Yeah.
A little bit more selective, and maybe a little less patient than I used to be. I would say those would be differences.
Mm-hmm.
So if you talked about, wait, actually, here, let me see this real quick.
Good.
So you talked about being, you're less patient, but patience is super important, right?
It is.
What are some things that have happened along this journey at Rizzo Electric that have made you be more selective maybe about the jobs you take on? Because,
Sure.
we, as a business owners, like you're going to want to take on every job that you possibly can, right? You want to make money. It's a for-profit. But at the end of the day, like, what are some experiences that you've had where it's made you a little bit more selective, a little bit more, questioning things at a high level to make sure you're not getting yourself in a bad situation, right?
Finding your ideal client and audience is something that I've learned kind of the hard way. Obviously, price is always a big appeal, but trying to be the lowest bidder is really just a race to the bottom. If you want to deliver a quality service, and be the best at what you do, that comes at a cost. And we take pride in being the best value. Certainly not the most expensive, but definitely not the cheapest. And when I was starting, I was marketing to be the lowest and cheapest and best price.
I just wanted to know, like, if there was a particular experience that you had in your business journey that kind of got you there. But like, you kind of answered that. Like, a big part of it is your intention was to be a good value. So if you're in Huntington Beach and you need electrical work done and you want the best value for a great job done, you're going to come to Rizzo Electric, right?
LA to San Diego.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Little shameless plug. One more question for you.
Yeah.
More questions. Plenty more questions. But I just wanted to ask you if there was somebody along your journey that you came into contact with that was somewhat of like an icon to you, or somebody you could look up to, a mentor that you really like, stoked that you were able to connect with because they altered your journey.
Certainly. I've struggled with issues that I didn't have somebody with the expertise to have asked for help in the past, and working for other conglomerates and vendors, I've actually become kind of friendly with some of our competitors. Grateful to be in an industry where there's enough work to go around, where if I'm stumped or it's not something that's within my ability, or vice versa with a competitor, we can ask each other for help or advice, or have you dealt with this before, or hey, I'm not fit for this project, you are, and vice versa.
That's really good to have that relationship with like your, because I feel like competitors, we should all make each other better in a good like capitalist society rather than being like trumping one another. You get to work together.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's a can be a cutthroat environment, especially when you're competing on price. But when you're really kind of working on just creating the best experience and the best final outcome of your service or product, um, those are the kind of people that we want to be around.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love that you're talking about the industry. 'Cause the industry that you're in the age of AI, it's one of those industries that we know is booming. And the trades, a lot of people coming up out of college or maybe not skipping college and going to the trades. It's such an important. It's such an important industry, and the fact that you can be collaborative, have mentors within it, is such a it's a great like place to be. Do you have advice for someone who wants to get into this type of industry or work?
Um, Certainly, it's a lot of work. Can be a hard-earned living. We have a huge generation gap of 10, 15 years where we are missing a workforce. So, like our team, for example, we have some guys that are between 35 and 45, and the other half of them that are learning from those guys are in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a growing demand, even with artificial intelligence. You need a surplus of power to create those data centers and stuff. So, as tech advances, power is always going to be in demand and growing. So, our program that we do is we work with a few colleges, and like for example, we have a great kid that I've been working with now for. Shouldn't call him a kid. He's 20 years old, but he's in my eyes, brand new and moldable, and just graduated from electrical college and wants to be a career electrician.
Yeah.
And what you do is you join an apprenticeship program, and you have 4 years of experience combined between school or on-job site experience.
Mm-hmm.
So within 2 years, he will have that certification. He'll be 22 years old and making a really nice living, and really, he's happy now. I think he'll be really happy when he's at that point.
Yeah. What's kind of like a solid, like what type of things do you look for in apprentices and people that you bring into your company? What are things that you look for?
This is something where, especially with technology advancements, you have to be willing to learn. You can't know everything, and you have to, be okay with that and learning new things every day. Be coachable.
Yeah.
Be resourceful. Anticipate what you're going to need next or possible outcomes of how your project's going to go.
Yeah.
Be willing to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be a team player.
Yeah. I mean, and this goes into the last phase of the hero's journey, which is, what's a legacy or what's something that you're looking to leave behind, or what is your definition of success with this company and really what you're doing now?
That's a good question. I would like to have something that if my kids wanted to have this business, they could. And something that if when I'm gone, it can operate without me. That's been a big learning curve for me as an entrepreneur, is entrusting my team and building systems and allowing them to do things that I would do myself solely. So in my eyes, currently at least, that's a big goal of mine, is creating a business that can operate without me. Otherwise, you don't really have a business if it dies with you.
Yeah. What's the best mental model that you've come across to do that? Like, what's the best like process so far that you have?
I kind of believe in, sometimes things aren't going to be perfect, and more is lost to indecision than wrong decision. And
That's a good one.
you inevitably going to make mistakes, so may as well get out there and scrape your knees and learn and get better. I take pride in my team having a good work-life balance, being passionate about what they do, and developing their skills and aligning on their goals. We meet and discuss and align on what we call a PPF. It's a personal, a professional, and a financial goal. And
Where'd you learn that from?
online snippets for um, business coaches or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I liked that. It spoke to me, and I've implemented that, and like to create retention, and my employees they feel good when we're aligned on their goals as well as mine. And yeah, I want the people that work here there to be their last job.
Yeah. I love that you take so seriously the life of people that you get to work with, right? You take that seriously, to look into that research and stuff. Like I remember when I had to do that as a leader, I would look at like I have so many mental models or people like Brian Tracy was like one of his goals was to write it down, and all these different like entrepreneurs ahead of us who are achieving great things. We always look to them, so and then implementing it within our own company is just it's such an amazing thing to be able to have something that helps us like PPF. It's so simple, but aligning with someone about their personal financial goals. Oh, do you want to talk about that one where you had one of your people who you did that meeting and they really valued time off, but they also needed money at the time, and that conversation happened?
Yeah, one of our lead guys, awesome hard worker, father of like 6.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
6. Jeez.
Great dad, hard worker, always shows up and just crushes. He had, his goals was to get the state certification, as they lapse every couple of years and you have to go and retake the test. And electrical code and things change every couple of years. So that was his professional goal, was to study and get his state journeyman's card again renewed. And financial goal was to make some more money, as all of ours are.
Yeah.
But we only had him 4 days a week because he was doing helping with the kids and life stuff on Tuesdays. So adding that 5th day and a bonus structure for jobs he could upsell gave an opportunity for him to make more money. And his personal goal was to propose to his girlfriend, and he is doing all 3 of those since January.
Yay!
Yeah,
I
achieved
love
all 3
mental-
of those since January.
This
so.
is-
I gotta ask.
This is why
Yeah.
I love mental models, because it's just like getting to help someone, like propose to his girlfriend, 6 kids. Like, wow, that's amazing.
Here, so we talked about, there's something you mentioned, and I wanted to come back to it before I forgot. You were talking about like mentors, people that you work with. I would just like to know if there was anybody that you could think of, dead or alive, that you would want to sit down and have dinner with or lunch with, and what question you would ask that person. It could be like a founder of a company, musician, whatever, somebody who's done a great thing in your eyes.
Say my dad.
Oh,
That's cool.
But
I love that.
yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe
not.
tell them about.
So your dad, what would you ask him if like you could have dinner or like lunch with him? Like what would be something that you'd want to talk to him about?
Well, he was an electrician. I have questions all the time.
Yeah.
That used to be able to ask him for.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. That's really sweet.
But maybe we could think of a different answer.
No.
That's like so
that's
genuine.
So honest and genuine.
You know?
I love that.
And then another question that popped up when you were talking about, because you talked about legacy and like wanting to leave the company and it's like, look, you're talking about your father, talking about kids. I don't know if Karen's gonna like this question, but because Karen also, like, one of her whys, we talk about a why, is like, what's the reason you show up every day? And you want to leave a legacy for your kids. Maybe they can take over the company. Question is, what do you look for out of a life partner?
Ooh, for the ladies.
I just want to, for the ladies, Rizzo Electric, just wanted to know, what do you look for out of a life partner? It's important.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting questions.
It's just I'm a simple man,
I love
I'm
you.
I'm really easy. And just somebody that I could go have some fun with, support each other's goals, align on the easy things like, you know, raising a family, being good parents, having fun.
Yeah.
Going to the beach,
Yeah, like non-negotiable.
non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Going to the
Daily
beach.
dip.
She needs to. She needs to.
Daily dip.
She needs to be a beach girl for
There you
sure.
go.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
I think that's almost non-negotiable.
Coincidentally, we are in Huntington Beach, so.
So, ladies,
Yeah.
you see this guy around in his ATV.
Yeah.
If she likes motorsports too, that's
Motorsports. Okay,
huge,
that's a good
huge
one.
plus.
Actually, then this segues into flow state. So, what are some things that you've done, or flow state is kind of the state that you get in where, time passes by super quick, and there's 4 stages of flow actually that people will learn as they go through our product, A Journey by Aethos. So, flow state, there's 4 stages: recovery, release, struggle, and flow. Right. So, release is what you do right as you struggle and you're learning something new. Maybe you're learning something new about your company, or when you were learning sales from me, and
Yeah.
and what did you do to kind of release and get your mind off of the work that helps you get into flow?
Good question. And I've struggled with not having one before. I did nothing but work for a long time,
Not
especially
sustainable.
when moved to a new place, didn't have a lot of friends. Work was my life. And when I started what I do now, I've worked every day, like 14, 16-hour days every day. And then there, comes a point where you gotta go have fun and do things. And I started with not working Sundays, and then that crept into not working on Saturday too.
Yay!
And yeah, I go to the beach. I like to go hiking a couple times a week. I like going out and riding on the ATV. I like playing catch a lot.
Playing
Like,
catch.
Yeah, like football.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
actually, so part of the idea of flow, so when we're in struggle, neurologically our brains are actually as limited as the physical space that we're in. So if we stay in the cave or in the office and we're struggling, we go outside, our brains think as limitless as the sky, right? And that's when we create novel connections in our mind, and things that we struggled with, once we kind of pan out, it allows us to relax and think, and those things naturally come. So playing catch is actually one of the higher flow state activities that you could do. Did you know that?
no, but I love it. So
Yeah, yeah. Playing
I'm
catch
glad
like
you-
football?
Yeah, or we have I have this one that I got in when I was on vacation that bounces on water, and you like skip
What?
it in the ocean or on the swimming pool, and that's my shit.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Nice.
I love that. The skip ball or the skip rip is
Yeah.
my jam.
So
Awesome.
what he's saying is make time for the things that you love, because it's going to help you get into flow.
Yes.
Yeah. Or else what's the point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And we didn't really talk about it, but I guess we could touch on it. Like when you, so there's a lot of people watching that are going to be starting their own journeys. And when you started, it's a little bit more of a personal question, but how much did you make in your first year starting your business?
We did like a gross revenue of maybe like $60,000.
$60,000. And I remember because when we met on the street, I asked you the same question. You were like, "Oh, it's not a lot," but to think about it, a lot of people, they're making $60,000 a year. So I think that you're very humble to say that. It kind of makes me feel like you're an extremely like self-starter, hard worker. But now over time that you've had time to establish the business today, how much are you making annually now? Ballpark number. These aren't like finite numbers, by the way. Ballpark.
This year we'll do around $2 million in revenue.
That's
But
awesome.
revenue versus your take home are significantly different figures. For that first year in business, I probably made like $12,000. You buy a bunch of parts, tools, trucks. Your stuff gets stolen. You get unexpected bills. Cars break down. I've made more money when I worked with a smaller team than I do now, but I had no work-life balance.
And that's part of scaling, but like you're talking about these moments too, like where you're in like the bottom of the bottom. You've started your business, it's so hard, and then you're hitting these walls, right? You're only maybe taking home 12,000. In a moment that you found yourself like rock bottom, what was the one thing that you were able to latch on that kept you going so you continued Rizzo Electric and not just let it die?
Honestly, probably the um, creating your own schedule and having, you know, uh, freedom of your time a little bit. Like I do work all the time, but I can be working in a cool place.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when I go take a vacation, I am working the whole time, but I'm just taking phone calls and texts and emails and cooler places.
So you,
So I enjoy that. I'm gonna have to work no matter what. So
you love the entrepreneur lifestyle, and it's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur, but hopefully the people that are watching here actually do want to be entrepreneurs, and that's a really great answer. I feel like if you really truly yearn for that goal, that lifestyle, it's going to keep you going. You're remembering your why. Your why is your legacy you're leaving behind, the lifestyle that you chose for yourself, not letting anybody else impose on you. And sorry, truck. It's just something that a lot of people look to, but they never take those first steps. And I think the structure that is going to help people take those first steps is what we're doing here at Aethos. And I hope that everybody watching downloads the app and finds value in that and how it's going to change their hero's journey from start to finish. And it's an ongoing journey. So like you can always start a new one too. And like 90% of businesses fail right off the jump, but you just need that 10%. You just need that Rizzo Electric to take off to make sure that like you can live the lifestyle that you always wanted. So even though it's hard every day, and I'm sure it's still hard every day, would you say it's worth it?
Absolutely. I very much like what I do. I feel very blessed. I've got great people around me, great clients, great team.
You're
But
a great guy.
Well, thank you.
You're a great guy.
Thank you. I try.
I've known you for a long time. You're a fantastic guy. Somebody
Thank you.
people like a team could look up to, because the team, a team without a leader, it's just chaos, right?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Anytime,
What was the question?
He didn't
Ain't no
really have
question.
one.
Just
He was
chopping it
just
up.
he was
Okay.
just giving
Well,
you.
I mean, if
he
you
was
have-
giving you your flowers.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
accept the flowers.
Well received. Thank you, bro.
And if you
I
have any
appreciate
other
it.
questions, Karen, I mean, this would be the time before we.
Do you wrap that up so well? So, 7 levels why? It's an activity
Okay.
that we have. Would you want to do it?
Sure.
If you had a magic wand and you can achieve any goal within 24 hours that would bring you the greatest quality of life improvement, what would it be?
Organization.
Organization? Okay, what do you mean?
Like some structure. Have like maybe a little bit more of a regiment. I kind of just wake up and deal with what's at hand for work the minute I wake up and until I clock out, and and then maybe prioritize some like fun things instead of you know, clean my house, clean my car, you know.
Okay.
That's extremely valid. Well, because let me just say, a lot of people say like if you look at your room or your space, it's like a reflection of the inside of your mind. So if it's organized and you have that structure, then your mind is going to be at ease. Would you agree?
I'd like to try it.
You know, this guy's amazing.
My room's fairly clean, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I just have never been that organized of a person. And when you can be, I've come to find out, and you have systems in place, things can operate more smoothly and
Yeah.
potentially even without you there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so your most meaningful goal right now is something that's starting in your head. So I'm going to challenge you to do the 7 levels of why with me and drop
Okay.
into your heart
Okay.
of why, because part of the things that I taught at the company was, without you guys knowing, was that when you connect a goal from your head to your heart, you're physiologically tuning in to pursuing that goal day in, day out. So right, you want to be more organized. You've been meaning to do it, but you haven't, right? So let's try to nudge that today. Do you want to try? Okay. So your most meaningful goal is to stay organized. Now, I'm going to ask you why, and you're going to say the reason why, and just tell me why. I'm going to ask you why again, using those same words that you gave me, and you have to give me another word closer to your heart. You got to go 7 levels. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll probably skip to the end because it's a long, it could be long, but we'll try it. Okay. So
Okay.
your most meaningful goal is to stay get your business organized by the end of the year or something like that, right?
Uh, just to have better organization, task delegation.
Task delegation. Okay. So you want a better system to organize your business. Essentially, that's your goal.
Yes.
Okay, great. Why is that important?
Creating structure and systems, accountability, and predictability.
Why is creating predictability important to you?
Knowing what to expect from the business, employees, myself.
Why is it important to you to know what to expect from employees and yourself and your business?
Um, accountability, making sure that there's a standard to be upheld and that it operates that way.
What is the importance of having standards to be upheld?
Um, Not compromising quality for the services you provide and um, being the best that you could be.
Why is it important for you to be the best that you can be?
Um, it's kind of our metric of like your professional or personal life is being better than you were yesterday.
Why is it important to you to be better than who you were yesterday?
Um, Progress, something to work towards. Um, don't get comfortable and lazy.
Why is it important to you to not get comfortable and lazy?
Because I get bored quick, and I like doing new things and being productive.
I'm
No,
gonna
no
put.
good.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. So, in order for you to stay more organized, that equates to a life where you're basically the most productive and basically living the full, the full version of what success will be like as you define it, right?
Yeah, I've just lived in a lot of non-planned and just been winging it for a long part of my life, and that's kind of also part of entrepreneurship. But once you have a good team and you can entrust them to do things and create systems and processes, um, you take a lot of the guesswork out of things when there's a proper expectation to be upheld.
I love that. Well, here's Rich Rizzo, like building the life of success, his ethos of success. We hope you guys had a really great time listening to his story and his hero's journey. And yeah, I don't know, is there another wrap up you want to?
Uh, Maybe I'll throw this in there, maybe not, but listening to you go down, diving deep into the 7 levels of like why it was important for you to, have like a predictable outcome, being better than you were yesterday. I'm going to be a little bit blunt. It's not something you can teach somebody to care that deeply, and it sounds like you're the type of person that cares to do great things. So I do believe that the people who are going to find this video care to do great things as well. So go ahead and thanks for spending the time watching us talk about this and diving deep into Rich's company, who he is as a person. And if you need any of the services that he might offer, the links are going to be down in the description below, as well as a link to the Aethos app. So please, please, please download it and get started on your hero's journey today. I feel incredibly blessed to be a part of this team. I love you guys. Thank you.
Woohoo!
And
Thank
we
you.
will see you next
you.
time. Bye-bye.